$11,599. That is the full MSRP of a 2026 Honda Rebel 1100T DCT, a real bagger with a batwing fairing and lockable hard saddlebags, and it sits exactly $13,400 below the $24,999 sticker of a 2026 Street Glide. Close your eyes for 2 seconds and you can hear the difference too. One is a lazy potato idle echoing off a dealership wall. The other is a quiet parallel twin that sounds like nothing special, right up until you see what the ownership data says about which one leaves its rider stranded on the shoulder of the interstate. Here's what nobody at either dealership is going to tell you. In Consumer Reports owner survey data, the major Japanese brands posted 4-year problem rates in the 11 to 17% range, while the big American V-twin brand sat at 26%. Read that again. The cheaper machines break less. And before you scroll away, if you walk into a showroom this season without watching this list, you are one signature away from paying $13,400 extra for a badge before a single dollar of financing interest, insurance, or the maintenance schedule even enters the conversation. By the end of this video, you're going to know which 2026 Japanese motorcycle is quietly winning on price, equipment, technology, and reliability data all at the same time. And I'll tell you right now, it is not the one you're thinking of. It's not even a cruiser. One motorcycle on this list is a machine that riders walk past on the showroom floor without a second look, while the salesmen, the same guys selling the expensive stuff, quietly ride one home themselves. I'm not naming it until the end, because you need to see the pattern first. And here's the polarizing part, so we get it out of the way early. The most overpriced motorcycles of 2026 aren't the ones the internet complains about. They're the ones your riding buddies are still defending in the parking lot. Stay with me, because the entry-level numbers are where the humiliation starts, and it only gets worse from there. Kawasaki Eliminator and Honda Rebel 500, the entry-level massacre. Ask yourself an honest question. When was the last time an American brand sold you a brand new full warranty cruiser for $6,499? That's the 2026 Kawasaki Eliminator with a 451cc parallel twin, making 51 horsepower at 10,000 RPM and 31.7 pounds FT of torque at 7,500 RPM, pulled from the same engine family as the Ninja 500. ABS costs you $6,799. Honda answers with the 2026 Rebel 500 at the same $6,799, running a 471cc twin with a reputation so boring it's almost insulting. Nothing dramatic ever happens to it, which is precisely the point when a machine's job is to carry a new rider through their first 20,000 miles without drama. Now think about what a new rider actually needs: a low seat, forgiving power, a bike that starts every single morning, and a payment that doesn't follow them around for 96 months. Both of these deliver all four. But here's where the tension starts, and it's not the tension you expect. The problem isn't that these bikes are good. The problem is what they do to the used market for everything else. Because when a brand new machine with a factory warranty costs $6,499, every aging 883 and every ridden hard middleweight on a dealer's used row suddenly has to justify its price against it, and most of them can't. Would you rather have a 10-year-old bike with unknown history, or a brand new twin with a warranty for the same money? Sit with that for a second, because the entire rest of this list is that same question asked at higher and higher price points. And notice what neither of these bikes asks of you. No premium fuel requirement drama, no boutique service network, no waiting list. Just a machine that costs less than a used side-by-side and starts a riding career instead of ending a savings account. And keep this number in your pocket: $6,499. You're going to see it again when we get to the final bike, and the comparison is going to sting. But first, if you think the small bikes are the only place Japan is winning, the middleweight segment is where things stop being polite. Before we go there, one thing you need to know: the motorcycle sitting at number 1 on this list costs less than half of its most direct full-dress competitor. Less than half. It hasn't appeared on screen yet. It won't for a while, and when I tell you what it carries as standard equipment, you're going to understand why I saved it. The worst value on the American side of this comparison hasn't shown up yet either. Both are coming. Suzuki GSX-8T, the middleweight problem. Here's a machine that shouldn't be controversial and somehow is. The 2026 Suzuki GSX-8T 10,649, built around Suzuki's 776cc parallel twin with a 270-degree crankshaft. The firing order that makes an inline twin feel and sound like a V-twin, producing 82 horsepower at 8,500 RPM and 57.5 pound-feet of torque at 6,500 RPM. It comes standard with a bi-directional quick-shifter, traction control, selectable ride modes, and bar-end mirrors from the factory. Standard. Not a chrome catalog you finance separately. Standard. Now compare the philosophy, not just the spec sheet. For roughly the money of an entry-point American middleweight, the Suzuki hands you modern electronics, a genuine warranty, and an engine architecture designed this decade. But the American option hands you something the Suzuki cannot. The badge, the dealership culture, the Saturday morning ritual. And this is where I need to talk directly to you for a moment, because I know who's watching this. You're somewhere between 45 and 60. You've owned the badge before. Maybe you still do. You remember exactly where you were standing in the dealership the day you signed. You remember what the trade-in offer looked like years later, and you remember doing that math in the truck on the way home and deciding not to tell anyone the number. That's why you're here. You're not anti-American. You're anti-getting burned twice. This video was built for that version of you, the one who checks the data before the tank logo. So here's the uncomfortable question the GSX-8T forces. If the riding experience is this close, what exactly is the extra money buying? Heritage is real, but heritage doesn't show up at 6 a.m. when the bike won't start. Remember the 26% problem rate from the hook? That number was brand-wide. It didn't exempt the expensive models. Hold that thought, because the next bike on this list takes that logic and drives it straight through the front window of the bagger segment. Honda Rebel 1100T DCT, the bagger upset. This is the bike from the opening, and now you get the full picture. The 2026 Honda Rebel 1100T DCT, $11,599, powered by a 1084cc liquid-cooled Unicam parallel twin lifted from the Africa Twin, an engine platform that has been dragged across deserts on multiple continents and proven itself in conditions no boulevard bagger will ever see. You get a Batwing-style fairing. You get lockable, weather-resistant hard saddlebags with 35 liters of storage. You get cruise control, ride modes, and Honda's 6-speed automatic DCT that shifts cleaner than most riders do. Total price, $11,599. The 2026 Street Glide, the bike this thing is openly imitating, starts at $24,999 with the Milwaukee 8 VVT 117. So let me say the sentence that's going to fill the comment section, and I want you to argue with the substance, not the flag on the tank. An automatic Japanese bagger now does the job of a traditional American V-twin bagger for $13,400 less, with the reliability data on its side. There it is. If that sentence made your jaw tighten, tell me why below, and tell me with numbers, because it's not a real bagger is not a number. Is the Honda as loud? No. Does it have the presence at a rally? Not even close. And pretending otherwise would insult your intelligence. But ask yourself the second question, the one that matters at your kitchen table instead of the rally. What does presence cost per year, over 5 years, once you add financing on a $24,999 principal versus an $11,599 one? One is a motorcycle payment. The other is drifting toward a car payment. And yet, and this is the part almost nobody watching this expects, the Rebel 1100T is still not the number one on this list. It's not even the most humiliating comparison in this video, because the next machine proves something genuinely uncomfortable. Japan doesn't even need new technology to win this fight. Sometimes 15-year-old Japanese engineering is enough. Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero ABS, the old soldier that won't lose. Here's your mid-video reality check, and it's a strange one. The 2026 Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero ABS is, by any honest engineering standard, an old motorcycle. The platform dates back over a decade. No radical redesign, no variable valve timing headline. And yet, Kawasaki still sells it brand new at $19,999 with a 1700cc liquid-cooled 52-degree V-twin, a frame-mounted fairing, sealed saddlebags, electronic cruise control, and Kawasaki's KACT coactive ABS system linking the front and rear brakes. Liquid-cooled. Read that spec again, because it's the quiet knife in this whole comparison. This outdated Japanese bagger has had liquid cooling since it launched, while air and oil-cooled American touring engines were still managing heat in stop-and-go traffic the old-fashioned way, through your inner thighs. Here's the counterintuitive part that earns this bike its spot. A platform this old should be embarrassing in 2026. Instead, at $19,999, it undercuts the $24,999 Street Glide by $5,000, while carrying a frame-mounted fairing. The configuration touring riders have argued for decades is more stable at highway speed than a fork-mounted batwing. So the question you should be asking isn't, why is the Vaquero old? It's this: if a Japanese design, frozen over a decade ago, still undercuts a freshly redesigned American flagship by $5,000, what does that say about where the money in that $24,999 sticker is actually going? Chrome, marketing, the dealer network? You tell me. And here's your reminder of what's still coming. This old soldier at $19,999 is not the number one either. The number one costs $8,000 less than the Vaquero. Keep watching, because before the reveal, we have to deal with the elephant, the one Japanese motorcycle even Harley riders respect. Quick practical note while we're here, because this is the point in the video where the touring riders are taking notes. Whatever machine you end up on, the gap between a miserable 500-mile day and a great one is usually gear, not the bike. A proper helmet communicator, real luggage liners, a seat that actually fits you. Links to the touring equipment I personally recommend are in the description and the pinned comment. Now, the elephant. Honda Goldwing, the cane nobody argues with. The 2026 Honda Goldwing starts at $25,500, with the Goldwing Tour Automatic DCT at $30,500. And here's the thing you already know if you've spent 30 years around touring riders. This is the one Japanese motorcycle that American V-twin loyalists don't mock. They go quiet. Because everyone has a Goldwing story. The rider who passed them in the rain outside Knoxville, doing an 800-mile day at 70 years old, smooth as glass. That 1833cc, horizontally opposed six-cylinder, humming like a sewing machine the size of a nightstand. The current generation runs a double wishbone front suspension that separates braking forces from steering input, an available 7-speed automatic DCT with a reverse function, and an engine that Honda trimmed by over 13 pounds versus previous generations without losing the character that made it a legend. Now for the part of this section that resolves the loop I planted in the first 60 seconds. Remember when I told you there's a machine on this list that competitor salesmen quietly ride home themselves? Walk through the employee parking area behind touring bike dealerships, any brand, and count the wings. It's the industry's worst-kept secret. The people who sell you charisma for a living commute on Japanese engineering, because they see what rolls into the service bay on Monday morning and what doesn't. And here's the comparison that should genuinely bother you if you're shopping full-dress touring this year. The American flagship dresser, the 2026 Street Glide Limited, that replaced the Ultra Limited, starts at $32,999, $7,499 more than a base Goldwing, and $2,499 more than the top-spec Goldwing Tour DCT. All the Honda counters with a flat six, an automatic option, and a front suspension architecture the V-twin world simply does not offer at any price. Was the fairing-mounted audio worth that gap to you? Was the badge? Those are real questions, not rhetorical ones, and only you can answer them with your own money, ideally before a finance manager answers them for you, across a desk, with a 96-month term sheet sliding toward your side of the table. But now brace yourself, because if you think the Goldwing is the final humiliation on this list, a $25,500 Japanese flagship embarrassing a $32,999 American one, you're about to find out why the actual number one makes even the Goldwing look expensive. The number one does 80% of the Goldwing's job, for less than half of the Street Glide Limited's price. Number 1. Honda NT1100 DCT, the $11,999 execution. Here it is, the motorcycle I promised you in the first minute, the one that costs less than half of its most direct full-dress competitor, the one buyers walk past without a second look. The 2026 Honda NT1100 DCT, $11,999. Say the price out loud, and then listen to what it includes, because this is where the whole video has been heading. The same 1084cc Africa Twin-derived Unicam parallel twin as the Rebel 1100T, tuned for performance touring. Honda's 6-speed automatic DCT with paddle-style manual control, a 6-axis IMU running cornering-aware rider aids, a Showa SFF BP inverted front fork, a windscreen with 6.5 inches of one-handed adjustment, and, as of 2026, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto standard on the screen from the factory at $11,999. Connectivity that certain $24,999 baggers treat as a headline feature. Add Honda's color-matched accessory panniers, 37 liters on the left and 36 liters on the right, each big enough to swallow a full-face helmet, and independent testing at motorcycle.com priced the fully luggaged bike at $13,258. Still $11,741 under a bare 2026 Street Glide with 0 saddlebag capacity upgrades. And underneath all of it sits the same engine philosophy that carried the Africa Twin through rally seasons and around-the-world trips. Long service intervals, unstressed internals, and the kind of parts availability that means a breakdown in rural Montana is an inconvenience, not a 3-week wait for a back-ordered component. Nothing on the American side of the aisle answers this machine. Nothing. That's not brand bias. That's a product planning fact. There is no American-built, automatic-optioned, IMU-equipped sport tourer at any price, let alone at $11,999. So why do cruiser riders walk past it? Because it doesn't look like the dream. No V-twin silhouette, no chrome, no rumble. It looks like an appliance. And 40 years of marketing trained all of us to feel that a motorcycle purchase is an identity purchase first and a transportation purchase second. But remember the pattern from every single section of this video. Remember the $6,499 Eliminator embarrassing the used market. Remember the 26% problem rate from the Opening. Remember the Vaquero undercutting the flagship with decade-old engineering. Every one of those was the same lesson wearing a different fairing. The data and the image have completely separated in this market, and the gap between them is measured in thousands of your dollars. The NT1100 is simply where that gap is widest. It is the most motorcycle per dollar Japan sells in America right now. And the 70% of you who didn't see it coming, that reaction right there is exactly how the industry has been able to charge what it charges. The humiliation was never about Japan beating America on a spec sheet. It's that the winning bike was sitting in plain sight the whole time, wearing gray paint, while everyone argued about chrome. So here's what I need from you before you go. Drop the model year and mileage of your current bike in the comments and tell me honestly, knowing these numbers, would you buy it again at today's prices? Because the responses to that question are going to matter for what comes next on this channel. There are 3 motorcycles from the 2026 model year, and one of them appeared in this very video, that are currently sitting in the Federal Safety Database with open defect investigations that almost nobody shopping them knows about. Units affected, the specific component, and which one I would still buy anyway. That's the next video. Don't buy anything until you've seen it.